Howdy. Welcome to Moe's World, the baseball podcast. Yep, another baseball podcast. Here we talk about baseball like a few friends sitting at the bar. We welcome your input and invite you to send us a text message. This week, I snuck in an episode so we could talk a little bit about the All-Star game and the first half result. You know, regardless of the outcome of the game, you gotta appreciate the fact that watching the All-Star game, all you can say to yourself is, this is a real game. I mean, the NHL game and the format just sucks to watch, and it's painful for the goalies. The NFL, that game was such a joke they stopped doing it. The NBA, I think the arenas have to put in 4 digits to keep track of their scores. That game is a total joke. But baseball, yeah, at least the game is played for real. There's always something that grabs your eye about the game, whether it's a new first-time player making a great play or a veteran of the home team park coming through for the fans. This past week's game was no exception. But looking at the box score of the game, I see 20 position players and 9 pitches got into the game for the American League. That's 29 players in the game. Now, that to me is crazy. It's also a testament to the new rule changes that the game only took 2 hours and 28 minutes to finish. On the National League side, they used 19 positional players and 11 pitches. 30 players got into the game on the National League side. I don't know. That just seems crazy to me. But, I thought the starting lineups were pretty awesome and diverse of talent. Look at these lineups. They had the American League, had Adley Rutschman, a first-time starter. And we had first base was Vladimir Guerrero Jr. That was his whopping 3rd start as an All-Star. Second base, Jose Altuve. That was his 6th start in his career. Shortstop, we had Gunnar Henderson, and that was his first start at selection as well. Jose Ramirez, we had a third base. That was his 3rd starter election. Designated hitter was Yordan Alvarez, and that was his first time being a starter. In the outfield, Aaron Judge got his 6th starter selection. Juan Soto got his first starter selection. That really surprised me when I saw that. Outfield also had Stephen Kwan, his first selection. So a good amount of first selections in the American League. And the National League was no different either. Catching was William Contreras, his first start. Bryce Harper, he's a veteran of All-Star games now. That was his 7th career start. And Ketel Marte, that was his 2nd start. Trey Turner, he pulled in a 2nd start. Over at third base, Alex Bohm, that was his first career start. Designated hitter, Shohei Ohtani, that was his 4th starter selection. And in the outfield for the National League, we had Christian Yelich, only his 2nd starting position. And we had Jurickson Profar, it was his first starting selection. And Fernando Tatis Jr., his 2nd career start. So we had 8 first-time starters. That's awesome. Wow, that's a rookie collection of starters. I was kind of surprised, like I said, that it was Juan Soto's first starting selection as an All-Star. The fans, to me, did a pretty good job. Personally, I believe in giving spots in the All-Star game to players who have had a good career and a good current season. Kind of a blend, I tend to give the player who has produced more than the spot starter or fluke great first half. But the National League played a vibe going. That's what they had, right? Practically the whole team was first or second selected. It's hard to believe that at 31 years old, Bryce Harper is the seasoned veteran of the All-Star game. It's funny, right? and an Aaron Judge at 32, and old man Jose Altuve at 34, they were making appearance number 6 in the All-Star game. Both teams were so young. Let's talk a bit, though, about the home run derby. Did you like it? How about the format? To tell you the truth, I wish the coverage was on MLB Network because I just can't stand the ESPN announcers or their coverage. I had a hard time watching it, and to me, I'm sorry, it was kind of boring. I'm sorry. It was cool seeing Bobby Witt Jr. and Gunnar Henderson for their first derby, but I miss the bangers. I want to see home run hitters. I would have liked to have seen Aaron Judge, Juan Soto, Shohei Ohtani, Marcell Ozuna, Bobby Witt Jr., Bryce Harper, Pete Alonso, and Kyle Schwarber. Those are the 8 guys I would have liked to see. Why? You turn and look to see who's at bat because the sound is so different. I don't know. It's just me, baby. Did you enjoy it? I almost hate saying this, but there's a reason the All-Star Game viewership on TV has dwindled to barely nothing the past decade, too. If you hear the saying, you're trying too hard, I think Fox and MLB are just trying too hard. They're trying to appease everyone. And you can't win over everyone. So why don't they just win over the fans who support them? Get rid of those ridiculous, oh my God, softball uniforms for one, and go back to each player wearing their home uniform and hat. Listening to the game makes me miss the classic baseball announcers. Are they all gone? I have to listen to John Smoltz and whoever the hell that was with him. I'm sorry, but they were terrible. Jeez, I miss a Jack Buck, Vin Scully, Bob Costas. They seem to try too many gimmicks, but not the right ones during the game as well. The game was well played, but instead of rewarding everyone, how about you don't need each team to be represented? If you are voted on by the fans, we expect you to get at least 3 at-bats. I don't need to see a parade of players coming in each inning. You are guaranteed to play as a starter, and that's my opinion for the changes that they need to do with that. Now, the first half team. The first half had some surprising teams. Who had the Phillies with the best record in baseball, walking away with the division? Now, don't get me wrong, the Phillies are playing like they should. They're a damn good team. But I keep hearing, what's wrong with the Braves? What's wrong with the Braves? Personally, besides being spoiled from last year's records and all those amazing stats that they had, it's just not happening this year. There's nothing wrong with the Braves. They had career years last year. I think the Braves just want to beat the Phillies this year. Perhaps the Braves are a kind of team that cannot turn it on after extended time off. The bye may actually hurt them. To me, it makes sense. The Braves have always been that kind of, it's a 162 game season. They stay controlled during bad and good times. And that works great over 162. But the playoffs, they're more, let's go. I think the Braves, end the season on a good note this year and beat the Phillies. That simple as that. That's all they're looking for this year. They want to beat the friggin' Phillies. They're tired of losing to them 2 years in a row. The National League Central, seriously, who cares? The West, Dodgers have struggled, but they will wake up in the playoffs too. I'm not worried about that. I'm expecting the championship to be the Braves and Dodgers. So, oh well. National League wild cards? Well, how about the Braves, Cardinals, and Pirates? Why not, right? That's my wild card pick of the wild cards. The Pirates. The American League, you gotta love the Orioles. I'm sticking with the O's to be the team. Twins and Guardians are actually looking good this year. The West is the division that sucks. I fully expect the Astros to win the West by 10 games at the end of the year. Everybody's imploding over there, and the Mariners are like, no, you please win. No, you win. So, they're a lost cause. The Yankees now? Oh, wait, wild cards? I'm going to go with Royals, Twins, and the Red Sox. Which brings up the Yankees. The Yankees appear to me to be a train wreck. I see them vanishing in the second half. There is a point that got me on to the fire Aaron Boone wagon. And the series had just completed with the Orioles. The Yankees brought up a hot-hitting prospect, supposedly, Jorbert Vivas from AAA. At first I thought, that makes sense. DJ LeMahieu's been struggling. He pounds every ball into the ground to third base. Gleyber Torres, he strikes out more than he walks to the plate. He's practically useless. But what happened? Jorbert Vivas sat on the bench the whole series as DJ stunk up the place and Torres continued to be inconsistent. They got lucky to win 2 of 3 against a very cold Orioles team right now. But why bring up a prospect and not play him? I don't understand that at all. Thinking back, this is why Bobby Cox of the Braves was the best at utilizing his players. When the Braves would bring up a prospect, Bobby Cox would put him in the game ASAP. His ass could have been walking into the clubhouse and he's like, get dressed, you're going in the next inning. Why? He wanted to get his feet wet right away and help remind the player that we brought you up here to help us win. What a concept. That's why the Braves have real prospects who get called up to make an impact, like Michael Harris II coming up in 2021 and making a huge impact playing 114 games and helping them win the World Series. And the Yankees, who have not been in a World Series in 15 years, they would call up Estevan Florial, a career minor leaguer year after year, spending 4 years as a prospect. Stupid. If you have a prospect, use them or just get rid of them. Aaron Boone should have played Vivas instead of totally wasting him for 3 games. Plus, by sending him down now, he sits from July 12th to July 18th. Nice. So you're trying to kill off another hot hitter. I'm wondering if certain teams will be sellers or buyers this coming trade deadline. July 30th is the trading deadline. Oh, what's the trading deadline? I love how it's officially called. The trade deadline is an option offered to prevent teams from sandbagging their team at the end of the season by trading blue chip players for average players. I don't know how they come across that, but let's talk about some first half players, though, who had a really good half. Aaron Judge. It's looking like 2022 again. It should be an interesting year if he stays healthy. Same thing with Juan Soto. The question will not go away, and you know what it is. Will the Yankees re-sign him? Will he re-sign with the Yankees? It's going to be in the offseason. We all know that. Not going to be anytime before that. In Baltimore, I think everyone is enjoying the year Gunnar Henderson is having. He's putting together a 285, 40 home run, 115 RBI, 970 OPS season. It's a lot of good shortstops in the league. They're all fighting for each other to be the top dog. I'm not sure if Corbin Burns is the most valuable Oriole, though, but damn, they need to re-sign him. What about the All-Star MVP, Jarren Duran? Talk about a player who came from nowhere to spark a team. At 27, he's in his 4th year in Boston, enjoying his finest season. He's pushing stats to finish in the 280 batting average range, 40 doubles, 15 triples, about 18 home runs and 80 RBIs. That'll be some year. I mean, he's come from nowhere and he's really sparked that team. He looked great. Speaking of great starts, how about in Kansas City, Bobby Witt Jr.? It's only his third full season with the Royals, and he's making his mark with Gunnar Henderson over who's the top shortstop in the American League. He may be looking at a 310 kind of average, 40 doubles, 15 triples, 30 home runs, and 105 RBIs, swinging to a 920 OPS. He's going to lead the American League in hits probably all season. He's leading right now in hits in the first half. Got 125 in 97 games. But I think the sleeper in the first half this year has been Stephen Kwan of the Cleveland Guardians. Now, he's had a first half. I mean, a real good first half. And it's his third full season at 26 years old. He's leading the league at 352 average, while also pushing his stats to perhaps finish in the range of 25 doubles, 15 home runs, an OPB of about 400 he's shooting at, and an OPS of about 910. And it's been something to watch all first half. Now, Dodgers acquired Shohei Ohtani this offseason, of course, right? And he's enjoying another great year. But what about Mr. Consistent, who is the veteran far from slowing down? Freddie Freeman is in his 15th year overall in the majors. His third year in Dodgerland. Oh, just another 290 average, 45 doubles, 25 home runs, 100 RBIs, 900 OPS. How do you top 2023 season having 59 doubles? Go out and have another great consistent year. Ellie De La Cruz stealing 90 bases? Do you think that'll happen? And there's 6 players on pace to score over 120 runs right now. We got Gunnar Henderson, Ohtani, Juan Soto, Aaron Judge, Bobby Witt, and Jose Ramirez. That's the name of the game, right? Scoring runs. The downside to all these great stats, though, are the acceptance of the strikeout still. Nolan Gorman of the Cardinals, 129 first half strikeouts. Ellie De La Cruz, the Pirates, 127. Ezekiel Tovar from the Rockies, 119. Will Benson of the Reds, 118. And rounding it out, Cal Raleigh of the Mariners, 118, are all on target for over 200 strikeouts in a season. Wow. And no Joey Gallo. So, wait, these are home run hitters, right? No, they're not. Cal Raleigh has the most home runs out of these players with 20 in the first half home run. Even though batting average doesn't mean anything, at least it doesn't mean anything to these players, since they range in average from a low of 190 by Will Benson to a high of 274 by Tovar. Random stat of the first half, Luis Arraez. He's hitting only 310 this year. But here's the odd stat of the first half. Arraez is leading the National League with only 24 strikeouts in 93 games played. He also has 24 RBIs in that same stretch. So, will he have more strikeouts or RBIs at the end of the season? Stay tuned. Pitching, Cy Young in the American League could be Corbin Burnes, potentially shooting for a 19-7 record, 2.55 ERA. Or maybe Ronaldo Lopez of the Braves in the National League, shooting for a 17-7 record pace with a 1.99 ERA. Let's see how they have a second half. Well, that seems to be a wrap on today's episode. I hope you enjoyed our 7th special All-Star First Half Results episode of Mo's World, the baseball podcast. Join us weekly. New episodes released on Friday for about a 20-minute broadcast. Thank you again for listening. Please tell your friends about it. We look forward to next week's episode. Prospect, trade, or keep. Whose world is it? It's Mo's world.